Introduction. In the ever-expanding archives of the SCP Foundation, few anomalies invoke as much fear, fascination, and existential dread as SCP-096, the Shy Guy. Where SCP-173 is infamous for its sudden, unpredictable violence, SCP-096 introduces a different, far more disturbing terror, the inevitability of death. You don't need to be near it. You don't need to provoke it. All you have to do is see its face, even in a photograph, and your fate is sealed. This is the story of a creature that cannot be reasoned with, cannot be stopped, and whose very existence challenges our ideas of space, causality, and inevitability. In this comprehensive exploration, we'll delve into everything that defines SCP-096, its origins, containment procedures, physiology, behavior, and narrative impact. We'll unpack the psychological horror at its core, explore the ethical and metaphysical questions it raises, and examine why this particular SCP has become a cornerstone of the Foundation mythos. Are you ready to look horror in the face, even if that means never looking away? Origin and Mythos. The legend of SCP-096 begins, like so many others, with a simple document, a clinical, detached description of a humanoid creature with one terrifying trait: it will stop at nothing to destroy anyone who has seen its face. The SCP was first added to the Foundation database by user Dr. Dan on the SCP Wiki, and quickly rose to iconic status within the community. While SCP-173 may have been the spark that lit the fire, SCP-096 poured gasoline on it. It demonstrated the SCP universe's potential to explore not only monsters, but concepts, horror grounded in rules and consequences. And those rules are terrifying. SCP-096 represents the unstoppable, the unrelenting. A being that doesn't simply kill, it pursues. You cannot hide. You cannot run. Once you've glimpsed its face, your life is on a countdown. It is the monster you never meant to see. Official designation. Object Class: Euclid, formerly Keter, reclassified due to containment improvements. Threat Level: Critical, under breach conditions. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-096 is to be contained in a 5m×5m×5m airtight steel cube, with pressure sensors and laser detectors to detect any movement. Absolutely no cameras or recording devices are permitted within SCP-096's containment area. Any surveillance must be conducted blind. Personnel are strictly forbidden from viewing SCP-096's face, whether directly, via video feed, or even in photographs. This simple, terrifying rule drives every aspect of its containment: do not look at its face. Physical description. SCP-096 is a humanoid creature, standing approximately 2.38 meters tall. Its body is emaciated, with little to no muscle mass, suggesting malnourishment or a lack of need for sustenance. Its arms are disproportionately long, extending down to its ankles, and its skin is devoid of pigmentation, pale, almost translucent. It lacks visible hair, and its facial features are generally blank. But those who have seen its face, even by accident, are never able to describe it, because they don't live long enough to try. Despite its weak, sickly appearance, SCP-096 possesses immense strength, speed, and endurance. These abilities are only triggered under one condition: if someone sees its face. Behavior and Activation Event. At rest, SCP-096 is docile. It sits in the corner of its cell, facing away, rarely moving. It displays signs of extreme emotional distress and avoidance behavior, especially when humans are present, hence its nickname, the Shy Guy. But the moment a person views SCP-096's face, an unstoppable transformation begins. 1. Trigger. Upon visual contact with its face, directly or through media, SCP-096 enters a state of emotional breakdown, covering its face, screaming, sobbing, and pacing. 2. Pursuit. After 1 to 2 minutes of this distress, it begins running toward the person who viewed it. Regardless of distance. It will breach containment, travel across countries, oceans, or through barriers. 3. Termination. Upon reaching its target, SCP-096 will brutally kill them, typically tearing them apart with its hands. It will then sit down and become docile once again. Nothing can stop this process. Once initiated, SCP-096 will kill its target. And then, it forgets. It sits. It weeps. Containment philosophy, a new kind of horror. Unlike SCP-173, whose danger is spatial, look away, and you die, SCP-096 is temporal. Once activated, your time is up. The horror is not in a sudden strike, it's in the wait. This delay is where SCP-096 becomes something truly dreadful. Victims know what's coming. Foundation personnel know what's coming. The entire scenario becomes a study in futility. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, or how secure your surroundings may be, SCP-096 will get to you. This has led to extreme ethical and logistical debates within Foundation lore. Should SCP-096 be terminated? Should all existing images of it be destroyed? Is it ethical to test it on D-Class personnel knowing they're being sent to a certain death? The 096-1A incident, a case study in inevitability. One of the most chilling events in SCP canon is the 096-1A incident, a redacted but heavily implied incident in which a satellite photo of SCP-096's face was accidentally captured, leading to a catastrophic breach. Despite the Foundation's best efforts to retrieve and censor the photo, multiple individuals viewed it, some unintentionally, even without realizing they had triggered an anomaly. SCP-096 began moving. And people began dying, worldwide. Entire research bases were leveled. Civilians were slaughtered. And worst of all, they never saw it coming. This event underscores the existential horror of SCP-096. Its face is a death sentence, even through accidental observation. A mirror of humanity's limits. SCP-096 functions as a critique of our obsession with observation, information, and surveillance. In the modern world, we take pictures of everything. We film, we scan, we monitor. But what happens when looking becomes lethal? 096 forces us to consider a world where knowledge is not power, it's peril. It also plays with the notion of guilt. What if you never meant to look? What if you were just doing your job? Doesn't matter. It's still coming. There's no forgiveness in the rule, only consequence. Philosophical and psychological analysis. SCP-096 is a terrifying metaphor for unstoppable guilt, like shame that hunts you down no matter how far you run. Predestined doom, it is a personification of the phrase, your fate is sealed. Fear of attention, in a world increasingly exposed, SCP-096 punishes the act of being seen, and seeing. In some ways, it is the inverse of SCP-173. Where 173 kills when you look away, 096 kills when you look at all. SCP-096 in media and culture. The Shy Guy has been featured in numerous SCP games, including SCP, Containment Breach, where players must avoid security cameras and screens that might accidentally display its face. It's also a favorite in fan films, short stories, animations, and YouTube ARGs. Its design is often altered, sometimes more monstrous, sometimes more tragic, but the core idea remains, fear the face. Fan theories and origins. Though the SCP Wiki does not provide an official backstory for SCP-096, countless theories exist. An ancient cursed entity, trapped in a loop of guilt and destruction. A failed experiment, perhaps once human, now stripped of reason and cursed with reactive rage. An alien, its biology and mechanics hint at extradimensional origins. But perhaps the most haunting interpretation is that SCP-096 doesn't have a purpose. It just is. A natural anomaly, like a black hole or a deadly virus. Indifferent to meaning. Merciless in function. Conclusion: the shy guy that changed the game. SCP-096 redefined what an SCP entry could be. It took a simple concept, what if seeing something killed you? And turned it into a global, psychological nightmare. It's not just horror, it's metaphysical horror. A being that defies time, space, empathy, and logic. One that doesn't even want to kill, but will, every time. Its legacy is one of fear, of fascination, and of fatality. And so, if you ever find yourself flipping through old surveillance photos, think twice. Don't look too close. Don't linger. Because if you see a pale, hunched figure in the corner of the frame, it might already be too late. This is the end. If you find it interesting, you can like and follow to see the latest videos. Thank you.